Hello students, in our previous class we have seen about direct and indirect band gap semiconductors. And we also seen that the formation of p-n junction. In our today's class we are going to extend the concept of p-n junction, where we are going to understand the basic energy band diagram for p-n junction. So here, before understanding the energy band diagram of p-n junction, let us try to understand something called biasing of p-n junction. That means you are going to understand the energy band diagram in different biasing conditions. Let us try to understand what is meant by biasing and what are the types of biasing of p-n junction. Now, in general, if you take a p-n junction, and this p-n junction, for example, this is a p-n junction where p-type and n-type materials are joined together. For example, let us consider this is p-type and this is n-type material. And if this p-n junction is not connected to any power source, that means any battery, any kind of battery, that means now this is isolated from the battery, this is not connected to battery. This particular situation we are calling it as unbiased condition. Unbiased condition. On the other hand, if you take this p-n junction diode and connecting to a battery, for example, this is a p-n junction. We have seen how the p-n junction is formed in our previous class. Now we are utilizing this p-n junction. Now we are connecting this p-n junction to a battery. We know the battery symbol, right? This is a battery, and let us consider this is a battery which is connected to the p-n junction. If you see here, this is nothing but the positive terminal of battery, and this is nothing but negative terminal of battery. Now in this particular case, we have connected the p-n junction to a battery, so that we are calling it as the p-n junction is biased. This is nothing but biased. Biased. Now, if you try to observe this particular situation where the p-type material is connected to positive terminal and n-type material is connected to negative terminal of the battery. This type of particular situation where p-type material is connected to positive terminal and n-type material is connected to negative terminal is known as forward bias. This is generally known as forward bias, FB. So biasing means just connecting the p-n junction to the battery. How we are connecting? You are connecting in this particular forward bias condition in such a way that the positive terminal of the p-n junction, the positive terminal of the battery is connected to the p-type material and negative terminal of the battery is connected to the n-type material. Now similarly, there is also something called reverse bias condition where the terminals will be exchanged. For example, if you take a p-n junction like this is a p-n junction, and this is p-type material and this is n-type material. And in this particular case, p-type material is connected to negative terminal of the battery. On the other hand, positive terminal of the battery is connected to the n-type material. This is nothing but negative terminal and this is nothing but positive terminal. So this particular situation is known as reverse bias condition, RB. We are calling it as RB. Reverse bias condition. Now we are going to see the energy band diagram of p-n junction under these three conditions. First condition is unbiased condition, second condition is forward bias condition, and third condition is reverse bias condition. Now let us try to understand how the energy band diagram will be in these three cases. Let us try to understand it. Now if you see, we have seen already while discussing about the basics of semiconductors that the energy band diagram for p-type material will be like this. There will be a conduction band and there will be a valency band and there will be a Fermi energy level. The position of Fermi energy level in case of p-type material will be near to valency band. This is what we have seen. Similarly, if we take n-type material, again there will be a conduction band and there will be also be a valency band, and finally there will be a Fermi energy level which will be very near to the conduction band. Let me take my cursor. Yeah. So this is nothing but Fermi conduction band, this is nothing but valency band, and this is nothing but our Fermi energy level. Now let us try to understand. These are the energy band diagrams before actually joining together. That means they are individual Fermi diagrams. Now let us try to understand. After joining these p-type and n-type materials, what will be the changes that will be appeared in the resultant energy band diagram of p-n junction? Now let us take once if we join p-type material and n-type material together, we have already seen there will be a formation of p-n junction. This is nothing but a p-n junction, and this p-n junction is formed because of diffusion of electrons from n region to p region because of the existence of concentration gradient of electrons. That means the electrons are present in n-type which are having more concentration than p-type. That means the concentration of electrons in n-type material is greater than p-type material, and hence there will be a diffusion of electrons takes place from n region to p region. As a result of it, we have seen the p-n junction is formed. Because of the formation of p-n junction, we also seen that there is a something called built-in potential or built-in field or barrier field is developed. Let us consider the built-in potential is Vb. This is the built-in potential. Now we know that electrons are diffused from n region to p region. Then what will happen to the position of Fermi level in n region? We know that the Fermi level in a semiconductor is nothing but the highest occupied energy level at 0 Kelvin. That means what? If you want to understand the concept of Fermi level, we have to assume that the Fermi level is nothing but the highest occupied energy level. That means if you are removing the electrons by diffusion and transferring the electron due to diffusion from n region to p region, what happens is in n region the particular position of Fermi energy level will come down. On the other hand, when you are increasing electrons towards p region, what happens is in this particular case the Fermi energy level will come up. So that what happens is initially the position of Fermi level in p-type is near to valency band and the position of Fermi level in n-type is near to the conduction band. And when we join together, what happens because of this transfer of electrons from n region to p region, so there will be a coincidence of Fermi energy level takes place in both the particular semiconductors. This we can understand from a classical analogy where actually we can see. Let us try to take a classical analogy for understanding purpose, and let us consider there is a beaker, and in this beaker let us consider water is actually up to here. Water level of the water is up to here. Now, and there is also another beaker where the water, where actually the water is present little bit more in this particular second beaker. The beakers are similar to each other, for example, and the second beaker, the water position is, let us say, up to here. So till here water is present. So there's nothing but, in this particular case, water is nothing but our electrons, and this is nothing but your p-type material, and this is nothing but your n-type material. This is the case where and this topmost position we are calling it as EF, energy, Fermi energy level. In this case, this is nothing but your EF. This is the situation before joining the materials. After joining the materials, we know the electrons are going to flow from N region to P region because of diffusion. In this particular case, what I am going to do is, in classical analogy, I am just joining these two beakers by using a pipe. Then what happens is, the water will be flowing from N beaker to P beaker. So this water flow will be taking place till the levels of the waters will be equal in both the beakers. That means after equilibrium is established, the situation will be like this. In both the beakers, water level will be same. That means so these are joined with a pipe, and we know that after joining, the position of Fermi energy level will be same. That means what? Now the electron flow will be stopped. This is the classical analogy how the Fermi energy levels are coincided in case of p-n junction after forming the junction. That means before how the Fermi energy levels are positioned, and after forming the junction how they are positioned. So that is what we have seen in this particular case. Look at this, the Fermi energy level is same in both the cases because of diffusion of electrons. The Fermi energy levels in p-type and n-type are coincided each other. Now this is the situation without connecting to the battery. Now I have not connected this particular p-n junction to any battery or any source. So this is called unbiased condition. Now let us see what will happen in case of forward biased condition. That means what? You have taken the p-n junction and connected the p-type material to the positive terminal and n-type material to the negative terminal. So this particular type of connection we are calling it as forward biased connection. Now under this forward biased condition, what is happening? Let us try to understand first. If we try to understand what are the things are happening in forward biased condition. So negative terminal is connected to n-type. So in n-type, the majority carries an electrons. So electrons are going to be repelled by the, so this is the negative terminal, for example. This is a negative terminal. Electrons are going to be repelled by this. Electrons which are majority carriers in n-type material are going to be repelled by negative terminal of the battery. Similarly, the holes which are present in p-type material are going to be repelled by positive terminal of the battery which is connected here. So that what is happening is, these holes and electrons are moving actually towards the barrier. As a result of it, the barrier width will decrease. So suppose, for example, Vb is the potential barrier, that is because of the p-n junction, and Vf is the applied potential in forward bias, that is Vf. Now the resultant potential across this barrier will be actual Vb minus Vf. So barrier potential is decreased because of the existence of electrostatic repulsive forces between the battery terminals and respective charged particles within the p-n junction. Now if you see what will happen to the particular energy band diagram in case of forward bias, look at this. So we are actually connected the negative terminal to the n region, then what happens is we can assume that electrons are injected into this particular n region. Means what? The position of the Fermi energy level goes up. Or in other words, you can also understand the same concept with the resultant potential that is present in case of this particular forward bias. So resultant potential is VB minus VF. So obviously initially the position of Fermi level in n-type in case of p-n junction unbiased condition was actually here, and in that case we have seen this particular difference is E into VB. Now if you see, because the resultant potential is decreased, so this particular width is going to be decreased, so that the position will come up. So either we can understand injecting the electrons into n region so that the level of the Fermi level in n region goes up, or we can also understand the potential barrier decreases in forward bias and hence the position of Fermi level in n-type region goes up. So likewise we can understand the forward bias condition and its corresponding energy level diagram. Now similarly, if we see the reverse bias condition, first of all we have to define what is reverse bias condition. P-type material is connected to negative terminal of the battery and n-type material is connected to positive terminal of the battery. So this particular connection we are calling it as reverse bias, and under reverse bias we know that this positive terminal attracts electrons from n region, so electrons moves this side, and these holes are attracted by the negative terminal that is connected to this particular p-type material, so that holes try to move this side. Then what happens is the potential barrier width will increase. As a result of it, suppose for example we have applied a reverse bias potential of VR, and VB is the already existed potential because of formation of the p-n junction. The resultant potential will be VB plus VR. Now we can understand that as the potential width is increased, so that we can understand that the particular level of energy, the particular Fermi energy level in n-type goes down, because we need to increase this width. This width increases to particular E into VB plus VR. So this is nothing but our position of Fermi energy levels in case of as a reverse biased condition of p-n junction. Look at this, the Fermi energy level in n-type goes down when you compare with unbiased condition. This is the position of Fermi energy level. So in case of reverse bias it is actually decreased. Now in conclusion, what we understand is this is nothing but our particular, for example, p-type material, and this is nothing but our n-type material, and this is a conduction band, this is EC. In conclusion, this is EC and this is EV. And this is the Fermi energy level in case of p-type, and this is the Fermi energy level in case of n-type material. When we join these, then initially the Fermi energy levels are joined together and corresponding positions of EV and EC should be written. So with respect to the Fermi level, we need to draw the positions of conduction band and valence band should be drawn. Then what we are doing is we are actually joining the conduction band of p-type material to valence band of n-type material, so that there is a band bending, and this bending depends upon the width of the potential. That's what we have seen. So in case of forward bias, what is happening? This particular Fermi energy level is going up. On the other hand, in reverse bias, this particular Fermi energy level is going down. This is what we have seen in our particular energy band diagrams of p-n junction under unbiased condition. forward biased condition and reverse biased condition along with the definitions of forward bias and reverse bias. Thank you. In the next class we are going to see the important IV characteristics of PN junction diode. Thank you.